Drop of Blood, a Sandlane Story. Chapter 1, The Horseman's New Journey. Ebonhold, above the Broken Isles. Nazgrim, Whitemane. I wish you both good fortune. Those were his last words to the other horsemen. What else I could have said? Thoris thought. They only call one another as brothers, because of their bondship with the recently shattered Helm of Domination and the powers of the Lich King. There is no real brothership between the horsemen, only the formality. Perhaps a bond between the four of them is just too much to ask, or at least that's how Thoris see it. The night was young, Thoris still had time. He intended to go back to Ymmerheim first, see if the Sandlane left any clue or track of his whereabouts. Even knowing that only a couple of days have passed since the events over the northern town and the Battle of the Damned, Thoris thought best to start from there since it was his closest location. After that, he would gather solid information about their race, strengths, weaknesses, traits, everything useful for someone who's trying to hunt down these vampire people. But first, getting to Ymmerheim would need transport, via ground or air, since Darian was the only horseman who had trained his skills to create more sophisticated death gates. The death gates crafted by Trollbane would only allow a few other death knights to cross the gates, and they would either lead to the Ebonhold or the Icecrown Citadel's door gates. For now, Thoris does not have any particular reason to exercise his skills with the death gates. What Thoris does have right now is a reason to get inside the cave within the Vrykul town of Ymmerheim. He does not only believe that he might find something related to his prey in that town's cave, but after having a word with the Vrykul elder, this one asked him to retrieve some documents about their clan. The elder told Thoris that those documents are most needed if they want the rest of the Vrykul people to recognize their clan when the time comes to build a new town, whether it will be on the Broken Isles, the Howling Fjord or wherever. Thoris accepted to retrieve said documents to the elder after he remembered that Nazgrim, his brethren, would journey with the Vrykuls in order to help them build a new future for their kin. Thoris headed towards Grimwing, the flight master of the Ebonhold. Though one may think that having a ghoul as your flight master would not be the optimal choice, one may be right to think that way. In fact, that ghoul is the only candidate for the charge, since no other knight of the Ebon Blade seems interested in the job. Every time a knight gets close to the winged steeds of the Ebon Blade, Grimwing starts grunting at them. Knowing this, Thoris looked down directly at Grimwing, knelt before her and touched her forehead, displaying some pictures on the ghoul's head showing her the Argent tournament grounds. Grimwing then laughed a little. Thoris knew that laugh meant he had Grimwing's permission to use a flying mount. The winged steed would take him flying towards the Argent Crusade settlement, where he would speak with the men of the Crusade, asking them to accompany him to the Vrykul town. Thoris would not dare to travel alone across Icecrown. Even if the Frozen Throne was reclaimed, there's still a few reasons to be cautious when you are in Northrend. After many attempts, he convinced a pair of Crusaders to go with him to Ymmerheim. They asked Thoris why there's no Knights of the Ebon Blade along with him. He stated that after the events of the Call to the Damned and the Battle of the Damned, the numbers of the Ebon Blade had been halved. They were now fewer than ever. One of the men proposed to mount a hippogriff through the icy corridor known as Syndragosa's Fall, then cross all of the broken front flying to reach the entrance to Ymmerheim, whereas the second man proposed to use a portal to Alderthar and walk their way to the town, carrying a hearthstone with them that would return them to the tournament grounds. Thoris disagreed with the latest idea, saying that Alderthar might be under vigilance and he intends to act undercover. As for the hippogriffs, it's a shame to force them to go into this cold for so long, yet they would have to. Forget the hearthstone, Thoris said. The men looked confused. Why though? Asked one of them. That would save us from any unwanted visitors we may have over that cursed town. And that's exactly why we won't take it. If a hearthstone falls into the wrong hands, it will cause even more troubles over the tournament grounds, and both you and I know that the place is in desperate need of a relief after all that transpired over the last 2 weeks, stated the horseman. The Crusaders seemed to understand, though they were not amused at all. So what then? Asked the youngest man. We fly towards the entrance of Ymmerheim, we leave the hippogriffs there. Then we move cautiously directly to the town's cave, no searching around. Once in the cave, we quickly take whatever we consider important or of any use against the Sandlane. After that, we move together and we get the hell out of there. Thoris didn't want to take any chances to confront anything out there. Let us hope not, but what do we do in case we encounter any minion of the Scourge or any other foe? Asked one of the Crusaders. We elude them, we fight only if we really must, stated Thoris. And so they took flight towards the Vrykul town of Ymmerheim. Once there, the hippogriffs were left behind to one side of the entrance. The three men walked their way to the cave without problem, all too quiet. Inside the cave, each of them started looking for any notes left, any map, anything useful. All they found was Vrykul notes, papers, potions, empty flasks, nothing useful. Until the youngest of the men said, "Hey, take a look." The other two went over to the table and saw a map of Azeroth, with 2 red crosses and 1 dark cross. The 2 red crosses were marked over Northrend and the Eversong Woods, while the dark one was over Kultiras. "What's the meaning of it? These locations are so separated and have nothing in common," said the young man. "This is worrying. They must have a reason to go to these places," said the old man. "Considering the events of the past 2 weeks, their business over Northrend must be over." Thoris said, "The Eversong Woods are only 1 step away from Silvermoon City, and not only that, that place is known for being in constant peril of the threat of the scourge that lies all across the Ghostlands." He added. So the oldest man asked Thoris, "Then why is Kultiras marked as well, Trollbane?" "I've never been to that continent, so I can't really figure out why. My take is they have an ally waiting for them to give them refugee. It can even be one of your own kind, working for them in exchange for a reward." "Light forbid it," prayed the young man. "Could it be that?" "No. Forget it, there is no way," said unsure the young man. "What?" asked the old man. "I was thinking, since I was trying to link these locations. We've seen the Sand Lane in Northrend working with the Vrykuls. More like being enslaved by the Vrykul," said Thoris. "My point is they added more troops to their lines, and we know Sand Lane used to be Blood Elves once when they were still alive. The Eversong Woods are home of the Blood Elves." "I still don't understand," said Thoris. "What's the deal with the South then?" "That's exactly my point. If they were trying to increase their numbers here over Northrend, and their next move is going to the Eversong Woods, then surely they don't have enough numbers to fulfill their mission over Kultiras." The young man's thought gave the other two another perspective they weren't counting on. "I believe it's time to leave this place," said the oldest man. "Yes, we're leaving." Luckily for Thoris, the papers and documents the Vrykul elder asked for him to get were right there. Walking their way out of the town, the young man noticed that the main gate of the town was closed. "We didn't close the gate, did we?" "No," said the other man. "Keep your eyes open," said Thoris. He approached the gates and started opening them. Nothing happened. The hippogriffs were there, they were alone. "Perhaps the wind did it," said the young man. "Let's just get out of here," said Thoris. They hopped on their respective mounts and left the place for good. When they arrived at the tournament grounds, the Crusaders left their mounts at the stable, but Thoris gently touched the winged steed's forehead for a moment. Immediately afterwards, the beast took flight towards the Ebon Hold on its own. "Not leaving yet?" asked the young man. "Still got a few questions for the Justicar," Thoris answered. "By the way, we know who you are, but I don't remember introducing ourselves. My name is Jacob and he's Martin." Martin then said to Thoris, "We wish you the best of luck out there. If I'm being honest, I'd join you in your journey. I too want to see those bastards meet justice for all of what they did. But we are Crusaders and our place belongs here. Keeping this ground in the northern corner of our world safe from the perils of Northrend, so it can still be called a sanctuary forevermore. You are men of the Argent Crusade. I would not ask you to join me, but it is good to know that I, given who I am, can still be respected by men like you." "No worries," said Jacob. "We are aware of the decree the Justicar issued, that no knight of the Ebon Blade may set foot on these grounds. But we understand, trust me." "Thank you. Take care and farewell." "You too, Trollbane," said Martin. "Hope to see you again." "Good luck," said Jacob. The two men went after a couple of drinks inside the Alliance hub, whereas Thoris had to confront the Justicar one last time. Walking towards the Justicar Trueheart's tent, the Argent Guard stopped him. He was trying to explain to the men he had to speak with the Justicar, but the men just wouldn't listen. The Justicar herself had to briefly go outside her tent to order the guards to let Thoris pass. Thoris expected the tent to be quiet so he could have a word with the Justicar alone. But to his surprise, the tent was as crowded as a Dalaran's fountain on Halloween. What surprised Thoris the most was the presence of Sindragosa. By looking at her, Thoris was astounded by her immense beauty. Even more, knowing the tragedy of her persona. What is she doing here? Thoros asked to himself. Does she have anything to discuss with the Justicar or the Argent Crusade? I thought she would leave this place as soon as she could. Sindragosa turned her sight to the entrance of the tent, where Thoros was. Although his arrival did not interrupt her chatter, perhaps I will follow the Nightborn Magistrix into the city of Suramar or the Admiral. Thoros was just beginning to listen to the dragoness conversation with the Justicar when he was suddenly pushed so hard that he fell to the floor, drawing the attention of everyone present in Trueheart's tent. What the hell was that? When he looked up, he saw a short and brown-haired man as tall as Thoros, around 40 years or less, armored with the vestments of a paladin. That man was Maxwell Tyrosus. Lord Maxwell Tyrosus, as he likes others to call him. And what do you think you're doing in here, Death Knight? Said the paladin. 2 or 3 other men had to restrain Maxwell before he lunged at Thoros again. You killed your own, you sacrificed them as lambs to the slaughter, and even that wasn't enough. You and your kind had to do the same to the men of the Argent Crusade, good men who followed the path of the light till the very end. You and your Death Knights are all monsters. We don't need you. Nor does Azeroth. You would have failed and perished if not for us. Becoming members of the enemy. That's why you needed us, you needed our strength. The Knights of the Ebon Blade, and especially us, the Four Horsemen, won the Battle of the Damned. You blessed fool. Stated Trollbane. I will never call you knights, nor will I ever understand the reason you even exist. Your knights were the only reason the Battle of the Damned even took place to begin with. Enough of this, gentlemen, said a woman. Everyone inside the tent turned over to look upon the long and red-haired woman. Dressed more like a priestess than a paladin, Justicar Trueheart has had enough discussion over the Knights of the Ebon Blade. Both the decree and the relationship between the Argent Crusade and the Knights of the Ebon Blade remains the same. They are not welcomed here. However, they are not our enemies and they shall not be treated as such. Thoros Trollbane, one of the Four Horsemen. If you are aware, and I believe you are considered part of the Ebon Blade. Why bother coming here? You must have a good reason. I do, Justicar. I wanted to inform you and the rest that the Four Horsemen will take part in the events following what we called Death Rising. No one seemed to understand. Death Rising started with the Dark Angels coming into Northrend, the involvement of the Sandlane and the Vrykles, and everything that has transpired up to when Bolvar reclaimed the Frozen Throne. Maxwell then interrupts Thoros by saying, and what would these following events be? First and most important, the other side of the Veil, the Shadowlands. High Lord Darian Mograine will be the only member of the four diving into the Shadowlands. So what about you, sir? Asked Valera Sanguiner. Thoros didn't even notice her at the tent up until that moment. I will keep track of the Sandlane, see if I can find them and stop their schemes. Fine, as long as you remain far away from us. Do as you please. Now leave, said Maxwell. And you will embark on this quest alone? Asked the woman with the green glowing eyes. As for now, yes, unless I find anyone appropriate for this, replied the man. Someone who knows about the Sandlane, their goals and modus operandi, said the Justicar. But this is absurd, we shouldn't be helping him in the first place, and secondly, is there anyone in this world that knows such things about those vampires? Exclaimed Maxwell. Lord Maxwell, everyone in this room has had enough of your attitude, including me. You will be of great use to our cause and to Azeroth, yet you don't seem to understand how critical our situation is. It is in times like these that we need every single person, every single soul, to cooperate and work together for the greater good. Lord Maxwell, I've made contact with the Silver Hand and we agreed on requesting you to join the front line of this war. You will be sent to the other side of the Veil, to the Shadowlands. You will soon depart to the city of Dalaran, where you will await for new orders. We not only trust in your prowess and skills as a fighter, but we also believe that your faith in the light will guide our forces beyond the Veil. After hearing the Justicar Trueheart, Maxwell couldn't find the words, he could not express himself. He wanted to argue with her. Azeroth was where he wanted to be, his place as a paladin who serves justice and the light. Of course he wanted to do his part in this war, face evil and protect the others. But after the Battle of the Damned, he more than ever wanted to stay home and see it recover from the aftermath of war. I serve the light. I will need time to commune with the light, hear whatever it has to say to me. You will have my answer soon, Justicar, said Tyrosus. Ready yourself, Lord, our war is about to begin. High Lord Bolvar for Dragon is now atop the Frozen Throne, waiting for the brave souls that will face the adversities of the afterlife with him," stated Trueheart. "May I have a word, Justicar?" Sindragosa asked. Trueheart gently nodded. "Everyone plays a major role in the upcoming events. The purpose of this reunion was to gather ourselves one last time before venturing into the unknown, our last meeting perhaps. However, do know that the mortal races do not fight alone this time. I will reunite with my kind. With the aid of Kaligos I will assemble the dragonflights. We dragons will join you all, and together we will defend our world. Azeroth will prevail. And once this is all over, we will have enough time to recover, to become better, to live better and together. This is a promise. One of hope, one I intend to keep. If only that world could exist," Thoris thought. And so the reunion at the Justicar's tent concluded. Many of whom were present there remained inside the tent, exchanging words with one another. Some of them were troubled for the days to come, others were hopeful. They had faith in their comrades and the defenders of this world. The Justicar called Thoris to speak. "Come before you leave." "What now?" Thoris thought. "I know who you are, and the path ahead is not an easy one. Don't get too confident in yourself, don't fight alone. Look for allies before you leave. I am more than sure you will find them." And thus, the Justicar turned her back to the Death Knight and went back to speak with the clerics and higher-ups of the Argent Crusade. Thoris saw Maxwell getting out of the tent with haste, so he followed him. "Lord Maxwell, wait." The paladin turned around. "And what could you possibly want?" he asked. "I will hunt down these Sandlane, I will stop their plans. And once it is done I will join you on the other side, Darian Mograine will be there as well." "Do you really think?" The paladin was about to start an argument with the Death Knight, but Thoris interrupted him. "I don't care about you in particular, Lord. Don't get me wrong. But you are crucial to these people, just as Trueheart said they have faith in you. So you must return safe, even if that means working together with the Ebon Blade. Search for Darian, cooperate, I will join you in due time. You better not die out there." Maxwell punched Thoris in the face. "Or you will rise me as he rose the others? Will you rise me as one of yours just like he did to my men? To my friends?" Thoris fell to one of his knees. "Aye, so you better not die." Maxwell was pissed off by the words of the Death Knight. He turned his back and walked away. "You really know how to make friends, don't you?" said a woman behind him. It was Valera. "Ah yes, I'm certainly an expert. Are you all right?" asked Thoris. "Oh, I'm fine, thanks for worrying though. I'm not sure what to do now. That's it. Perhaps you should rest now, you fought inside the Citadel. Surely you're tired. Or harmed." "Actually, I was thinking of joining you." Valera kept looking at Thoris. Still with one knee on the ground, he looked at her from over his shoulder. "Don't look at me like that, I have my reasons." "Well, I know you can fight. It's up to you. I was gonna go to the Eversong Woods in the first place, so having you by my side sounds fine to me." Thoris stood up. "The Eversong Woods? What's there for a man like you?" "Nothing at all, but this isn't about me. I found a map inside Ymmerheim's cave. The map pointed at 3 separate locations, one of them were these woods. With a bit of luck, I will find the little bastard and end this threat before it gets messy. Just one of them? I find it hard to believe that a single Sandlane would ally with the Dark Angels and plot against us. Surely there's more of them. The Council of Blood was formerly composed of 3 princes of blood. None of them lives, we horsemen are certain of that. But you have a point, no single person would face its own world alone. He must have allies, and perhaps some of them are other Sandlane. The Sandlane, what they are up to this time." She wondered. "Power," he said. "They've always wanted it, some things never change." "Perhaps not. Eversong Woods then, come, let's take the portal to Stormwind and—" "No," he interrupted her. "If we go to Stormwind and then travel all the way north on our horses, we would arrive at the kingdom of Quel'Thalas in almost 2 weeks." Valera was about to say something when Thoris said, "The city of Silvermoon, then we will ride." "Are you sure?" asked the Blood Elf. "No time to lose," replied the man. Thoris Trollbane told Valera he had some documents to deliver before leaving the place. Valera headed to the Alliance hub to wait for Thoris to come back. He went to the Vrykul campfire and gave the papers and documents to the Elder. The Elder thanked Thoris, and when the latter asked the Elder about Nazgrim, he replied that the orc left them behind to travel to the Howling Fjord. As per usual, Nazgrim wastes no time. I wish your people the best, hopefully your tribe can recover from all of this. The elder seemed worried. He said, our kind is well known for our arrogance and stubbornness, our path ahead will be harsh. More so for an old man like myself, trying to guide the few of us that remain. Thoras noticed the concern in the old man, so he said, the ebon blade stands with you, you even have one of the horsemen at your side now. Be strong. While the elder stood there with his brethren at the campfire, gathered around at a corner of the tournament grounds, it was time for Thoras to leave. He made his way to the Alliance hub within the Argent grounds. The guards manning the tent did not salute him, they did not even turn their sights upon him. He gave no importance to it, instead what he noticed the most was the fact that Valeera was having a talk with an important member of the Alliance inside the tent. Magister Umbric was the man, or Void Elf to be more specific. Ah, Thoras? Come. He is the Magister Umbric, representative of the Rindori. Though our people are currently divided by ideals, one could say that we share blood and a bondship of hope for our kingdom. The Void Elf did not show any kind of respect for the Knight of the Ebon Blade, no bow, no gesture, no greeting. Only a defiant and judging look. It seems our paths must intertwine, Sir Trollbane. This Sandlane threat is a matter I must take into my own hands, lest the kingdom of Quel'Thalas, and thus the city of Silvermoon itself, is left to fall into the wrong hands. Thoras knew about the siege of Silvermoon, and how Valeera stood on one side of the front whilst Umbric did so on the other. You two are on good terms, it seems? Umbric smirked. For the good of our people I am a polite leader, yes. I do what's best for the Rindori and I know how to recognize the lesser evil. Being this case joining forces with you to ultimately find these vampires, and get rid of them once and for all. Umbric was quick with his words. So I am the lesser evil? And a blood elf too? Why would I need you anyways? As far as I know, you're not welcome where we're headed. What if you become dead weight? Neither are you, sir. Silvermoon City worships the light and the sun. I sincerely doubt you could get a foot past the Magister's gates without Lady Sanguiner at your side. Am I wrong, milady? We need each other, that's for sure. More or less, it doesn't matter how much. We should move, are you two ready yet? Valeera said, trying to decompress the tension in the air. Thoras was not done. And what are you doing in here after all? Came to help? Too late, imbecile. I did not see you at the Battle of the Damned nor the assault on the Citadel. Thoras, I'm sure Umbric had, the Magister interrupted her. I thank you for your intention, Lady Sanguiner, but I can stand on my own. You see, sir, following the events of Silvermoon, my people the Rindori tried to recover from battle. After that, we went to Dalaran to speak with the Council of Six. There, my request for a place for my people was heard, hence you have me here serving the Argent Crusade. Thoras. He looked at Valeera, he would listen to her. The Six tasked Sir Umbric to unravel the schemes of the Sandlane all over Northrend, and that was even before the Call of the Damned. Umbric nodded at Valeera's words. That's right, I even got to find one of them. Them? So you think there is more than one? The horseman guessed. Correct again, sir. At least two of these blood lovers were scattered around Northrend not a while ago. My guess is, based on what I've heard of your skirmish in that Vrykul town, that your Sandlane was different from the one I had to encounter. You confronted one of them? Umbric took a brief pause before replying. It hurts my honor and my pride to admit that I was forced to run for my life. And since the tales around the Argent grounds of your encounter with the former Sindori all agree to say that he was the one to cower in fear and escape, I find it merely impossible that they are both the same. Where did you find him? Asked Trollbane. The Howling Fjord at the pinnacle of the Utgard Keep. The Vrykul's fortification? I thought that keep was abandoned, Thoras thought, but he didn't share his thought with the others. I apologize for my attitude, Sir Umbric. I have had a rough day today. Valeera let out a little laugh. He got punched, yelled at, and pushed away. Luckily for us, the night is near, we should get to Dalaran and get some rest. Why Dalaran? Asked Thoras. You intend to visit the city of Silvermoon, am I right? Well, there's a portal in the Horde side of Dalaran City. You mean the Sunreaver's Sanctuary? Asked the Blood Elf. Perhaps I've been in that city only once and I can't recall all the areas and their names. Well, I'm not sure, but I think they removed all portals there except for the one leading to Orgrimmar. Said Valeera, that would complicate things for us. Thoras added. We won't know unless we go there. Stated Umbric.